Happy Monday, folks, and in this video, we're going to lay out 5 perfect moves the Detroit Lions can do post-2025 NFL Draft to beef up their roster and make this a better football team than it currently is. Now, look, in these moves, it's not just signing players. There's other things the Lions can do this offseason to make it perfect. Put that cherry on top so far of the offseason that we have had as we get ready for this season. There's moves that the Lions can get done, and they're going to get done. Look, this is a really good football team all around. The depth is really good right now for this team. Not much that needs to be done. They got cap space, $42.8 million. That's third best in the NFL. With that money, they can get stuff done. Now, the first move for me, this one is the easiest of them all. This is going to happen. It is simply signing all their draft picks and getting all these guys under contract. This is the easiest of all moves. Why? Because they're all going to happen with the new rookie wage scale. Well, not necessarily new. It's been, 7-8 years ago, whenever it was. Anyways, get those players under contract as they get ready for training camp. Sometimes there's always there's a holdout from some team, some issue, and it's generally not long, maybe a day now or two. But still, we would like for the Detroit Lions to go ahead and get that move in there, get these players signed, and be good to go for the training camp. Now, before we get into the really important moves here, grade Holmes' offseason so far. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to know your grade for his offseason moves. And we're talking about everything, not just the draft, not just free agency. Give me your grades in the comments below. The next one is a move that I think a lot of us would like to be seen, and hopefully the Lions do this, and that is signing Za'Darious Smith. The Lions need to get more players on the defensive line, and I think Za'Darius Smith would be a solid option. Not only is he familiar with the team, but he's a good veteran. He's a leader. He got 5 sacks for the Lions when we traded for him, 9 all around last year for him. And considering the Lions' depth right now, that's not that great. Bring in a 6'4", 275 player that we had on this team last year makes a lot of sense. And he's still got some juice left in the tank, folks. It's not like we need him all the time. We do got Marcus Davenport. We do got Joshua Pascal. We do got Al-Qadim Mohammed. We do got Ahmed Hassanin, right? We have some players, but we still need more. And he's still got the ability to help this team out. And it's not going to cost the Lions much. We already seen in the cap space. I showed you before that the Detroit Lions are good in cap space. They can easily re-sign him to a 1-year deal, and it's not going to have to worry about the mega deals that's going to be coming up with players such as Brian Branch and Sam Laporta and all these other guys. So you can bring him in here for this 1-year deal. The Lions should do it. Help this team out significantly. I think it would be great to have him on this football team, make the defensive line whole again. Next on my list here is I having Lions releasing Graham Glasgow. Now that seems a little bit odd when you think about perfect planning, but the Detroit Lions did phenomenal in regards to getting youth on the offensive line. They drafted 2 linemen who are young, they're very good, and we already got Christian Mahogany. So that leaves one spot kind of off the list here, and that's Graham Glasgow. His play did diminish last year. He's getting older, and do you really want him, who's at $8 million, $6 to $8 million right now, to be a backup? I prefer that not to be the case. So in my perfect offseason, the Detroit Lions release him, and one of the moves, obviously, would be the Detroit Lions simply getting youth at that position. Now, I appreciate what he has done for this football team, but we do got some good backups in there. Kayode Osika, I do believe he's a fine backup, and he's super cheap. So he can go ahead and back up these young players that we have. And remember, Giovanni Manu's still on this team, and Dan Campbell did say that they could potentially play him at guard as well. I think it's going to be more of a tackle, right? You have Dan Skipper, you have Giovanni Manu. But if you look through this, Miles Frazier, you look at that, Tate Ratledge, you look at Kayode Osika, Christian Mahogany, Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, they're pretty good there, and it just seems like Graham Glasgow is the odd man out. And if you do release a Graham Glasgow, guess what happens? it opens up a roster spot so you can get a position that potentially they could upgrade. And there's many positions they can upgrade right now. We literally just talked about Za'Darious Smith. He is an edge player. Now, you bring in a player like that, you release one player and you bring in another player. We got a position of strength right now, and that's the guard position, right? It's a position that we got in a little bit of an influx in. Well, there's other positions, safety position. There are other position, edge position, that maybe were a little bit weaker. So if you release Graham Glasgow, you're saving a little bit of money, right? That's important. And you're opening up a roster spot, and that's probably a little bit more important, especially with the Lions situation right now with such a great depth on this football team to where you're talking about it's going to be difficult for a 7th-round pick to make the team. But I want you to grade Brad Holmes' offseason so far. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now you will release Graham Glasgow. You can sign Justin Simmons, defensive back. I think this would be a really good option for Detroit. Again, just like the situation we talked about with the Detroit Lions cap space. The Lions right now have $42.8 million in cap space. Plenty enough to do a 1-year deal. A player like Za'Darius Smith and obviously a player like Justin Simmons, 6'2", 202, 31 years old. What did he do last year? Well, 7 pass defense, 2 interceptions, 0 forced fumbles, 36 solo. He's still got juice left in the tank, and we're talking about a backup. Or if they want to do 3 safety sets sometimes. But we're talking about a backup primarily because we got Kirby Joseph, right? We have Brian Branch. Those guys are established, and they're the best safety combination in football. Look, Baltimore Ravens got a pretty good safety situation there, but if you had Justin Simmons as your number 3, imagine that back end, okay? Just close your eyes and imagine this right now. Terrion Arnold. You got DJ Reed, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Justin Simmons, Amik Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw. Talent, talent, talent. That secondary would be legit fire and be awesome to see. You would have Smith on the defensive line, release Graham Glasgow, add Justin Simmons. The defense is better, and I don't think the offense takes a hit. I don't. I trust Brad Holmes' ability to draft these young players, and this is one thing that I do trust. He is not perfect in the draft. No general manager is. And if I hear about Broderick Martin, he missed on there, and that's such a big deal. I don't think it to be a big deal. You're going to miss players. You're going to miss players that you trade up for. It's going to happen in the draft. And generally speaking, Brad Holmes has done a good job, so I trust that Tate, I trust that Miles, I trust Christian Mahogany, who I loved last year drafted. He showed it on the field last year in a couple games. And even the development of Giovanni Manu, I trust his development because we're hearing good things about that. Really good things, by the way. The Lions' offensive line is not going to take that much of a hit if the Lions release Graham Glasgow. And again, it opens up a spot for a Justin Simmons if they wanted to beef up the secondary more. Your offense would be completely beefed up at this point. I mean, the talent is ridiculous, right? And your defense at this point, by adding those 2 players, I think would be absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, there's going to be injuries, and we're probably going to, have a couple players in the secondary go down and miss games. We know that's going to occur. So you can come in here, and it's not going to, it'll be a drop-off, but not a big one, right? He's a veteran. Now let's get into my last one here, and I want to get this done sooner rather than later, and that's extending Aidan Hutchinson to the mega deal that he is going to be getting. Why is that? Because Aidan Hutchinson is one of the best football players in the NFL, and the Lions would like to get him under contract as soon as possible. And then this is why I would like to have as soon as possible. Because the longer you wait, the more money it's going to get. Remember, we extended St. Brown, Jared Goff, Penei Sewell. We did that before others did. And it saved the Detroit Lions a lot of money. A lot of money. And that is the whole point here. Saving the Lions money down the long haul. And you know Hutch is going to be here. We already know Hutch is going to be here for the long haul. I know he broke his leg. He doesn't need to prove it to me. He's got the heart. I know he's going to go out there and give it his best, and I'm not too worried about a regression. It's not an Achilles. It's not an ACL. It's not an MCL. Okay? It's a broken leg. We've all broken bones now. Different parts of our bodies. Broken bones get stronger. And if you've seen, you know Hutch. Come on. This is a guy that you do not have to worry about his work ethic. Aidan Hutchinson, 0. TJ Watt's going to get paid here soon enough, right? We've seen Max Crosby get paid. We've seen Myles Garrett get paid. Let's do it before TJ Watt gets paid. Let's get Hutch under contract, do a 5-year deal, 6-year deal, whatever it is. Get him under contract. Then, to me, the Lions did a great thing here, locking up the future of this football team for many years. Add him to the list of J. Curb, Penei Sewell. The list goes on of players whom we've drafted and re-signed. That would be the absolute placing a cherry on top of the offseason. And I do, by the way, think that Aidan Hutchinson will get extended before the regular season. I do. I think he's going to get extended for the regular season because Brad Holmes understands economics, finance. He's smart. We know this. He gets ahead of the game. He is prepared for this. He's been preparing for these big old contracts. I'm not worried. He'll get it done for sure. That's what we want here in the fandom of Lions world. So in the comments, folks, give me your thoughts about what your perfect offseason moves would be as we finish this offseason, get ready for the regular season. With that said, folks, adios.